Let's get started. There's the disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Here we go. There is news that comes out, jobless claims, an hour before open. So a little over 40 minutes. 622.60 is the line that we need to break to start squeezing up here. Right here, it's this blue line. Need to push through that, and then we can start squeezing up. Hopefully the jobless claims helps us do that. Your levels today are 625.40 for the upper. That's going to be up here. Your mid is 620.77. That's going to be here, down here. I would think you probably hold this level in here, 621.30, but we'll see. And then your lower support and the 5 MA is at 620.77. So that's going to be down at this level here. So that would be a strong support. Those are your levels today. Again, I lean bullish. I think we're going to continue to climb higher from here. Probably not for a real long time, but we'll see. I mean, my theory is to stay bullish until the market kicks me out or proves me wrong. Let's check out SPY. Same situation with SPY. I expect us to go up. Hopefully the jobless claims helps us continue to do that. Pushing against resistance here. Your levels for SPY are 691 for your upper, so you'd probably retest this 691.30 probably. Your mid is 686.77, so that's going to be about your mid Bollinger. Yeah, look at these Bollingers. I mean, this thing wants to go up. Hopefully jobless claims does not a wet blanket on this. Your lower support for SPY is 685.15. So that's going to be this cluster here, same as the Qs. Yeah, this cluster is going to be your major support. This is going to be your first support here, right around where the 200 is going to be. And yeah, you could just draw your resistance right here. And yeah, you're trying to squeeze out of this. It looks good. We could drop down, retest this 200, and then push back up. That's fine. But yeah, I look for this to resolve up. Hopefully we have a big morning. It's a shortened day today. Market closes 3 hours earlier, and then it's not open tomorrow. So I hope we have a big pop in the morning and then just level off. Or actually, I'd like to sell. I'd like for it to rise all day. We'll see. There's your two big indices. Let's look at some individual stocks. Let's check out qubits. Qubits again, on the daily frame, I have this resolving higher from here. My target is 52 to 72. Yeah, that's crazy, right? On the hourly, we corrected this pretty nicely. I don't think we'll come down here. I think we'd probably just retest this, which it looks like we've done. How much have we taken from this move? Every time. Every time I think it goes one way and it goes the other. Yeah, that dropped down between the 38 and the 50. So that's good. This looks like we could resolve higher from here. You had your A, B, C. So this looks like we could resolve higher from here. We should. Yeah, see, well, let's see if we get another drop to 2770. If this will all depend on numbers. If jobless numbers come out good, I think we run higher. 32 today, maybe. That'd be a good day. But yeah, qubits looks good to continue to go up here. Here's our bottom. You had this inverse head and shoulders here, and now you're working on a bigger inverse head and shoulders. You're working your way up out of this. This looks good to resolve higher. Here's one that the group is in. I'm also in this. I have a lot of Cliff. I own a lot of Cliff. Now, for Cliff, you have to take a step back and look at the whole chart here. Because this cycle ended here and we're starting a new cycle. And this is a 1, 2 of a larger cycle than this. So this 1, 2 is larger than this 1, 2 in degree. And you can see this. Here, I'll show you how you know that this is true. You're going to look at volume. Look at that volume. Look at the entire history of the stock, and then look at volume start to pick up on this phase. So you can see where price is. Now look at these volume bars compared to back here. And look where price was. Look where price is, and look at these volume bars. This thing is just stacked up, ready to launch to space. Now it'll take, this took, what is this? Let's go from here. That took 2 years. So I'm not talking overnight. This isn't a GameStop squeeze. This is an actual company. This is going to take time, but I mean, in 2 years, if you can turn this into 100+ stock, are you really going to complain about that? I'm not. Okay, here's our daily. The big resistance that we need to get through is 1450. I say it's closer down here to 1417, 1420. But once we break that, we're fairly clear all the way up into the 18 to 20 range. So this is going to have, I think when this goes, this is going to have a big quick run. And I have no idea when that day is going to be. Everybody wants me to when. I don't know. No one knows. I just know that the future of this is up unless something catastrophic happens to the chart, which could always happen. But this looks like it's resolving up. I mean, we're starting to really separate on these moving averages. 4 hour, we're just getting going. Yeah, I think we break through this 1420 range, and I think we really start to move on this. It's really trying to break 14 just to get up there. It's taking its time, making everyone bored with it, and then you sell, and it'll take off. That's Cliff. I like Cliff. All right, here's two stocks that I'm in that I wanted to look at that turned on me. Here's Hims. This had a good chart until a couple days ago. We've still held the low here, so we're still okay. As long as we don't break this low, we're all right. If we break this low, then it should, well, it'll lead to lower. So if we break that low, then I'll be bailing out of this position. But this looked so good. You don't really have divergence there. I thought for sure you'd get a bounce up to this 36 range. I thought you'd get higher into 40. This looks pretty good for a bounce. When it see this was the good bullish divergence. This was the good setup. And we had a good bounce coming out of here. And we had a good correction here. And then this was a bad day. This ruined the setup for a while. And so now we have to see where we are. If we come down and break this, I'm out. But we need to start turning up from here. But this was a good bottom with your divergence here. And this was a good, I mean, look at that. That's a good bounce coming off that bottom. That's a good bounce. That looks like a 4. That looks like your 5. This might be a longer correction. I don't know. But this, when we broke that low here, well, breaking that low was fine. But this was just a bad day. But I was all excited about Hims, and now I'm iffy about Hims. It needs to start coming up. And here's another one that looked really good, and now I'm not sure about it. RR, Rich Tech Robotics. This is a similar setup. Again, you had good bullish divergence on the bottom here. And so that was a good entry. You had a good reaction. I mean, that's a great reaction coming off that bottom. That looks like 5 waves. And then this looks like an A, B, C. Looks like a really long one. And then we broke this low. We just broke that low. So maybe this is a continuation of C. This is your washout, though. This and this. So hopefully this is just a continuation. I mean, that's a good looking candle there on the hourly. That's, yeah, maybe this has bottoms. It needs to get above 350, let's call it. It really needs to get to 380. But this had a great setup. See how it popped above the 5 MA? It was looking great, and now we're back down again. So this was a chart that went from looking great to meh. So it needs to start moving for me to hold this position. Okay, here's a requested stock of mine, AAOI. This one looked great when it was lagging all the others back down here. That was fantastic. And then I sold a little too early. I sold off that big day when we broke out of that Bollinger. The target for AAOI is 48. My target is 48 near term. But again, longer term, I think I have like 100 and something on this. Oh, 72. Possibly 110 if we really start screaming. But yeah, 48, the first stop. Like I said, 40 is where we are at now. Next stop should be 48. And then after that, we should go to 72. And this is in that 3 of 3. So this should just keep screaming. I expect a pullback at 48. I expect a good pullback at 48. Probably all the way back down to 38. But yeah, I mean this looks like it just wants to keep pumping up, keep squeezing, keep making people chase, and then one day it'll drop a bunch. And that's when I'll buy it again. All right. I wanted to also look at my hyper uraniums. LEU got a buy yesterday, but it's SMR that people are talking about. And here's because I'm excited about SMR. It is a perfect Livermore cylinder to me. And right now, this is the Livermore cylinder line, these blue lines here. And as you can see, we're just hanging out right below these blue lines. And I was a buyer, a buyer under 20 on this. So I've been buying the last week or so like crazy. This is now my number one uranium position, and it keeps growing. If it's going to stay down here, then I'm going to keep buying it. Yeah, we're getting divergence on the 4-hour. Do we have daily divergence? Yeah, we have daily divergence. Are we going to get a weekly divergence? Nope. We might still, but yeah, and a Livermore cylinder is I could actually bring a picture of one up. Let me see if I can do that. No, I won't even try. But here's the 7 on a Livermore cylinder. There's a 6. There's a 5, 4, 3, 2, and then here's your 1 or 0 start. And then after you get to 7, then you start resolving up and much higher, because these come out into huge targets. Like here are my targets for this. 100 is my target for SMR, and it's sitting at 15 now. I mean, this is like Cliff, and Cliff is actually also in a Livermore cylinder. Not necessarily Cliff, but steel as a whole is in a Livermore cylinder. So I don't know what's going on with America and building, but the steel sector's going to fly. Yeah, this should resolve much higher. And Lightbridge is also, I mean, that's also a Livermore cylinder. Same situation. It's hanging out at the bottom of the cylinder. These nuclear, I think they're really tough for me to tell, because it seems like they need one more drop, but they also look like they could just take off at any moment. So I'm not willing to sell or not buy because they might drop. Not this sector. Not this sector. Not uranium. Tech, yeah, I'd sell that in a heartbeat, but not uranium. All right, let's take a quick look at, I call this girls in jeans, but it's just retail. It's specifically mall stocks. What's going on with Estee Lauder? AEO gave me a buy today because it's touching this 200 MA. Let's see what it does off that. And that's just a quick term, a quick buy, I think. Unless that's going to complete that 4 and AEO is going to resolve higher, which it's Christmas. It might. Is Victoria's Secret done with its little run? Yeah, I don't know if this wants to drop either. This might just go sideways. I'll have to see. All right, let's go back to Q to see where we're at before we hang it up and call it a morning. Still looking good. News comes out in about 15 minutes. All right. Be safe and good luck, everybody. Have a great day and a Merry Christmas.